Well, I'm supporting my dad because I believe he's going to be a great asset to the legislature in the state of Tennessee. And, uh, when we were younger, sports have always been important to my dad. He's very athletic. I didn't quite get all those athletic genes, but nevertheless was always interested in playing baseball and tennis and all these things. And, you know, again, didn't quite have the same athleticism that my dad did. But he never gave up on it, on me or any of us, any of my siblings, and always was helping us to improve and encouraging us and supporting us. And so, by and large, we got better with Bulso, right?
Yeah.
So that's part of why I'm supporting my dad.
Why should other people vote for your dad?
I think they can expect that same sort of listening and then support and encouragement and that same insight into what needs to be done and helping to improve.
We had dinner the other night with your dad and your mom, and they were just delightful. This is the first time I had the opportunity to meet your mother, and she was,
Yeah.
a lot of fun. When you think about your mom and dad as a team, whether it's a parenting team or just a team in the community, supporting folks in the community, we've heard a lot today through the different testimonials about how your dad has helped a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine that is a family trait, is it not?
It sure is, yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. I think we've always been brought up just to pay attention to the needs of those around us and to be able to, and to look to lending a helping hand whenever we could. And certainly that the home has always been a place where I have found support. And I know not everyone has that. We've been very blessed with parents who work well as a team. And, so yeah, we definitely grew up in that kind of environment, very positive, supportive environment where we're trying to help each other, but then also looking at how we might help those, our friends and everybody. Yeah.
Yeah. Why do you love your dad?
Ooh, tough question. You got me with that one.
Yeah, I know it. Yeah.
Boy, how do I want to answer that question?
However you
I
want
love my dad because he is my dad, first and foremost. And I think, perhaps that's one of the special things about love. Not to get too theological here, but one of the special things about love between parents and children is that there's no earning necessary. That love is just there.
Yeah.
So.
What about his spirit of service? How do you think that would play when he's elected state representative?
Sure. I know Dad has always had this desire to get involved and to be truly a public servant. And I think he believes that he can make a difference, and I think he's correct in believing that he's got the right skills to really to be able to serve well and make a difference. So.
What's some of the things that you feel like need to be addressed in Williamson County? What are some issues that he needs to take to the state capitol?
Sure. I know we've talked about one of the issues on the front of everybody's mind right now is traffic. Seems like kind of a mundane issue, but it's really important on a local level. And so with the growing population of Nashville, the greater Nashville area, that's certainly an issue. It comes right to mind.
That's great. Is there anything else you'd like to add for folks that are watching this video to either know about your dad or why they should take a look at your dad and maybe hopefully support him?
Sure. I think you can have let me say that again. I know you can have complete confidence in my dad. Trust me, I've grown up with him, and I know he has so much to offer, and you won't be disappointed in his service.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Very much. What else we need?
Well, let's see. Well, we'd like to use the obvious. Your father, I'm sure, was a very important influence in your faith.
Sure.
And helping you to become the man you are today.
Do something about him teaching him to serve others.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's
And how is it? Because this district is going to have a lot of people of faith. So to have one or two
Sure.
to touch on that's a great idea.
Okay. So how did your father and in his faith, this is such an obvious question with you standing right here, how did it influence you? Not just the obvious of joining the priesthood, but just in your everyday life.
Sure. Let me say this. I think sometimes people may have the impression that faith is about sort of giving up your reason, or not really engaging the questions of life fully. And it's exactly the opposite. I think that's one of the main ways that my dad set the example for me growing up. It's just in his honest pursuit of the truth, which has led him deeper and deeper into his Catholic faith. I remember too, as I was growing up, and had some great priest examples in my life, and slowly but surely that desire for the priesthood grew in my heart. I remember talking to my dad one summer about the fact, this is during college, that I was starting to think about this call to the priesthood. And he didn't say a whole lot at that point. And about another year went by, and I came to the conclusion that I needed to pursue this vocation. And finally one day I asked my dad, what do you think about all this? Because we hadn't spoken too much about it explicitly. So what do you think about all this? And he said, I'm so excited for you, and I support you 100%. And when he told me, and I thought this was very wise, is he didn't want to influence my decision either way. So he didn't want his excitement to push me in this direction without me needing to go that way. So I really appreciated hearing that from him.
That's awesome. How did he, as you grew up in the Bulso house, how did he teach you to serve others?
Sure. He taught me by example, really. Just watching the way he interacted with, whether it was colleagues from work or friends, or just reaching out, even to tennis buddies, just having that attention to others, and being able to help them however they need it.
How serious does your dad take serving others?
Very seriously.
How is that demonstrated now that you're grown and out of the house? What do you see when you look back now and you see your dad serving others?
Sure. I know one of the ways that this comes out for my dad is his absolute commitment to what he does. And he does everything that he does to the best of his ability, whether that's work as an attorney, whether that's out on the tennis court, whatever it is. He's 100% in, 100% committed. And I think that translates into how he's going to approach the spot as a state representative.
Now, he has expressed to us his deep respect and deep passion to protect life. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. Certainly protecting life is one of the most fundamental things that we can do. Without life, without the right to life, we have no other rights, nothing else to protect. And I think that's one of the main things that drives us, certainly coming from our Catholic faith, but also even from maybe a philosophical perspective. I mean, if you don't protect life, what else do you have?